Welcome back to the Hopcast.
Welcome back, everybody.
We brought along a special guest this time.
Very much special. He's been on before,
Right.
but we brought him back because he was so awesome the first time.
I thank you guys for bringing me back.
Right. So I'm Brad Chmielewski.
My name is Ken Hunnemeder.
And I'm the special guest, John Burkett.
Woo! Shout out! Shout out!
Shout out from right here.
Does that count?
I appreciate it. Well,
Brad Chmielewski. Woo!
Well, we were shouting at ourselves on the Wood episode.
Yes, it's true.
you shut yourself up.
Yeah.
But anyway, we're moseying down to Texas. Shout out!
Sorry.
So yeah, JB took a little trip down and was nice enough to bring us back a couple bottles of a microbrewery down in Texas, out of Blanco.
And not Shiner.
No, it's not Shiner.
Yeah.
It's not PBR.
I was in Austin, Texas, and I knew before I left I had to find some good beer, and I asked around, and everyone recommended this Real Ale Brewing Company, and so I brought back some beer for my boys here.
Yeah, so we're going to, these are two different beers, they're both from Real Ale Brewing Company.
Right, so we have their rye, because we love rye.
Yes, they're Rye Pale Ale.
It's almost rye second IPAs almost. my love, I don't know, maybe third imperial stouts. But I digress. And we have their blonde.
Which is their Fireman 4 Blonde.
Right, both year-round beers. So yeah, we're gonna start with the Fireman.
Yeah, we'll go blonde and then head over to the rye. So let's give it a pour.
So that poured out pretty light.
Nice golden color. Not too much head going on or anything.
No,
but
not at all.
A little bit of bubble there, a little bubbly.
a little bit.
Almost like apple cidery yellow.
And speaking of which, I get a little appleness in the aroma as well.
Yeah, it's definitely crisp and fruity.
Yeah, it's like,
but not over like.
You see before you smell.
that's why we do it in this order.
Yeah, I'm glad I watched you guys. I was about to take a drink there, but.
You gotta slow your roll.
Yeah, thanks. I appreciate the advice.
Certainly get a lot of like fresh cereal grain odor.
I'm not gonna use my Fruity Loop, so. What, French toast?
Yeah. Cocoa Puffs.
No, it's nice, crisp, like a little bit of hop citrus in there. Should we drink it up? Oh.
I'm waiting for you guys.
It's behind in your pickup.
It's a very clean taste. Very
Super drinkable.
yeah, definitely.
Oh. So you said this was everyone in Texas recommended this.
Yes,
right?
I was actually in the airport, and I was asking if a police officer was walking past, which is kind of weird. And I stopped him, like, "What do you recommend?" He says, "Definitely get the Fireman 4, and this is what we're drinking now." And he said, "That's just the best beer out of Texas." And I'm gonna have to agree. This is a really good beer. I could definitely, really drink this beer.
It's certainly really drinkable, but also like full flavored ale.
Right, it's not like a Pilsner where it's clean and refreshing, but falls a little flat.
Mm-hmm.
This is just nicely rounded.
Because it still has a lot of flavor in it.
Yeah.
It's fruity and crisp at the same time. So like to me, it has somewhat of a lagerish characteristic, but it is an ale, and you can certainly tell that it is an ale. But it just has a certain twinge in there that's
Like a little bit of like metal. Like that's what you kind of.
Somewhat.
That's what I get from lagers, but you get that little bit, and that's like no.
right.
It's actually really clean too. Like after you drink it, it disappears off your tongue. Like it doesn't, no lingering aftertaste at all to me.
So I like this better than any of the Shiner beers I've had. Especially Shiner has the blonde, right? Yellow.
Shiner does make a blonde, and I will agree with you that this is better than their blonde.
Is it the Shiner blonde? I just know by the colors, like Shiner yellow, Shiner blue.
I think the Shiner blonde is actually a blue label,
Okay.
but I could be wrong. I don't drink too much Shiner.
I'm reaching for the Shiner.
Not reaching for the Shiner.
I've had some blondes, and this is probably my second best.
Oh!
What's your first?
Veronica,
that's
you
another-
minx.
Oh, I'm sexy. Sorry, never mind now.
So the Fireman 4 is coming in at 5.1% alcohol and only 21 hops. Or 21 IBUs, not hops.
They put 21 pellets of hops.
That's it, no more.
I was curious about that. Now I know. This is great.
Yeah, it's the International Bittering Units.
Nice
Brad
international
units?
scale. The Brad units? International Brad units.
Now, the last time I was here, there was the Hunnemeder scale.
Yep.
Where would you rate this on that scale?
Well, yeah, I would give this about an 80 on the Hunnemeder.
Oh, wow.
And so since you were on last time, the brand drinkability, there's been some infringements with Bud Light. We're in court battle.
Oh.
I'm suing them. Because they watched the Hopcast and I believe they stole this. Hopcast was here first, but I've changed it to the Brad Barometer.
Uh-huh.
And I'd also probably put it at an 80, 82. Something that's clean, refreshing, but I don't love it. But it's...
I thought it would be higher on the
It
drinkability scale.
wasn't drinkability, it's true that, but...
Even though it's not called a drinkability, it's still based on drinkability.
That is true. 80s. 80s.
It's
Low
80s. Getting very vague there, Brad.
I forgot what my own scale is.
Well, we have
you Budweiser. But actually, you have another one of their beers that you came across.
Oh yes, I recently traded with a guy down in Texas, and he gave me syphilis.
I heard a shot of penicillin 2 weeks from this. Not that I knew personally, but this is what I heard. We'll get rid of that. Clear that right up.
Syphilis.
No, syphilis is their barley wine.
Yeah.
Interesting name. Okay.
Yep, I was going to buy that and actually saw. I'm like, I'm not bringing syphilis back with me, so.
You didn't want
Yeah,
to give us
no, I
syphilis.
didn't. You know, I actually I consider you guys friends. So.
Appreciate that,
If I
Jake.
didn't, yeah, I would have brought it back.
Don't get syphilis. It's not from you.
Exactly. Never.
Oh, shout out!
No shout out for syphilis. You know.
You know who you are.
The blonde. Anyway.
The blonde,
Yeah.
third blonde.
Yeah.
On the scale.
First blonde.
Second. So, well, we knocked those back. I
Yeah,
see
exactly.
that it is a good beer because we're already done.
Yeah. Consider it killed.
Right.
So we can
So
go
that,
ahead.
the rye?
Yeah. Let's go ahead and move on to this rye, because
No commercial breaks here on the Hopcast.
who doesn't love a nice rye?
I do. I know Brian does. I know Steven.
Shut up! So let's go ahead and pour this guy out. Take it for a spin.
So that poured out a little coppery.
Yeah.
I'll get like a burnt orange,
That's exactly what I was just thinking.
you know?
Maybe a little lighter from what you'd expect from a rye. I guess you usually see ryes with reds, and this is a pale rye. So
Right.
I don't know much about ryes, but
rye is
They'll use a-
sort of malt.
A rye malt.
okay.
You guys have like a cloudiness to yours where I poured mine first, so I have like, mine's pretty clear. So maybe a happy medium between these two is what it would actually pour out if we pulled or poured a full bottle into a pint glass.
So a little hazy, but
Yeah,
probably
slightly
a
hazy.
little more clear like yours.
Right, so obviously it's a bottle conditioned beer.
Oh, probably it must be if it has the haze.
It's got
right?
it's got the yeast at the bottom. It's causing the haze.
Okay. Wow, I'm learning so much right now. That's special.
That's what happens when you watch the Hopcast. You learn.
I certainly smell the rye, which makes
definitely.
me tingle, and I'm getting excited.
Should I get up and move, or?
Let's
Let's call that blonde of yours.
With the rye, you get a little grapefruit.
Yeah, it's actually.
Oh, it's still in my mouth. I don't know.
Oh, what's going on? Hold on, what we got?
It's in.
That's interesting.
Not as, I guess, rye. Not as much rye in the flavor as I would have liked.
More so in the aroma, you'll get it. Yeah, you're right. I think it's more so driven by hops in the flavor than the rye.
It's also really smooth when you drink it. It's definitely not what I thought it would be.
Right, where like the canned maple has a a lot more bite with the rye. The Two Brothers Cannonade, shut up! And this just finishes cleaner. And
Yeah.
This is much more smooth and drinkable. So maybe that's like kind of a theme that they go for with their beers. Is they're more of a drinkable. It's the climate down there.
It's hot.
I was gonna say, definitely not a heavy beer at all. I would
No.
not classify this as a heavy beer. Just very, right in that middle. Just,
After riding your horse and riding
Right.
banks, you want something refreshing.
Roping some Broncos. But certainly packs a full punch as far as the flavor goes. It's really got a nice flavor. There's a lot of it.
So it's they're using a blend here of Willamette and Cascade hops.
Okay.
So it's coming in at 5.7% alcohol and 42 IBUs. So
Mhm.
definitely get more of that hop out of this than the Fireman.
Certainly, you would expect that from a pale ale over a blonde. Just naturally a hoppier style of beer.
And I think these are both solid.
Yeah, absolutely. I would certainly visit if I was in the area. That's for sure.
Right, not something that I'd like go out of, like if I'm in the area I'm going, but I'm not craving.
It's not gonna like blow your socks off, but it's certainly like if you're down there, I mean, I can see it be my local watering hole is what I'm trying to say. Yeah, absolutely.
I'm glad that the people, many different people I ran into recommended this brewing company and these particular bottles of beer, because I actually say I enjoyed both of these.
And we had two other ones. There was a brown ale, and what was the other one that we had?
Do we have a red or a pale?
Oh, just the regular pale ale, right? So this is the rye pale ale. We have also a regular pale ale.
Yeah.
That we'll be trying off the record.
Yeah, off the Hopcast.
It'll be all gone tonight. Let's just put it like that.
That's probably true. It's probably true.
But so Real Ale's website, which they have a horrible name in my opinion.
Yeah, because real ale makes you think of. I mean, real ale is something totally different. It's like cask conditioned ales.
Yeah.
So it's like it's bizarre that they're calling themselves real ale, but.
And also, I'd have to say, the funny thing is I went to the website to order this beer to get additional stuff, and it took me forever, and I actually had to email the company, and they emailed me back a distributor to go to their website to get the beer, and the distributor was in Texas, and they had nothing outside of Texas, so it took me a little while to get some additional beers to get some of this stuff, but it was worth it. I think it was worth the shipment, and I'm glad that we're able to enjoy this here on the Hopcast.
Yeah, absolutely, and thanks again for bringing it over.
Yeah, thank you.
Super kick-ass of you.
Hey, it's the least I can do for my beer brothers here. My beer brothers from another mother.
A couple other mothers.
Yeah. Who's counting?
So if you're in the area, mosey on over to local watering hole and pick up some Real Ale.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thanks for
Cheers.
joining the Hopcast.